Cloud is all about giving you the tools to prioritize your user experience, to focus on what makes your product great and quickly iterate. I know we all love localhost, but you can't iterate on localhost alone. You need feedback. Putting out great products is a team sport. But historically, getting to a state where you can get useful feedback has been hard. Sure, you can send screenshots, you can try to simulate experiences, or hack together separate infrastructure or complex staging pipelines, like this person is doing. But it can be weeks of dev time, and at larger organizations, it can mean spending up to 30% of your infrastructure budget on just the dev, test, and staging environments alone. With Vercel, this isn't a separate step. Every change you commit gets built and deployed as a live URL, a standalone environment that you can share with your team. And today, this is available whether you're using GitHub, GitLab, Azure DevOps, or your own CI. This allows you to ship smaller and remove dependencies across teams or branches. And because this is live production-grade infrastructure, it's easier to test across browsers and try interactions, share with your team, exactly how your users would experience it. This is consistently called out as one of our most impactful features of our DX platform. United Airlines has been working hand-in-hand with our partner, AmericanEagle.com, on their Gate of the Future initiatives, with signage at airports around the world that will be served up by Vercel. Preview deployments and comments have been a game changer in making faster release cycles and team collaboration. But beyond automating your CI/CD and bringing more people into your development process, these preview deployments also come with their own set of developer tools, which give you more functionality to easily collaborate, debug, QA, wherever you're building. Let me show you what this is all about and how we use the toolbar at Vercel. All right, so at Vercel, we are big on dogfooding. You've probably heard us talk about iterate to greatness. You heard G say, seeing is believing. To us, yeah, we talk about iterate to greatness all the time. It means always be iterating. To us, that means inside of comments, inside of the toolbar. Being a Vercelian means seeing comments everywhere you go. Whether you're in a preview deployment of a new dashboard feature, or you're browsing the production website of Vercel, you'll see comments wherever you go. We use comments to make bug reports, to make copy suggestions, and tons more. So we just launched this site recently. You'll see we kind of got a lot of stuff going on. Let's take a look. So this is the toolbar. You'll see we have, you can see your inbox, you can see who else is online, you can share this with your team. Let's take a look at some of these comments. So Alina thinks we've got too many hyphens going on in this subhead. Respectfully, I'm going to say no. Disagree. Here's one. Okay, Dan thinks we've got some inconsistent text wrapping. Let me see what browser he's on. Okay, cool. Now, if I wanted to, I could make a linear ticket for my design engineering team so they could turn this into a bug report and fix it. This also integrates with Jira or directly into Slack, other productivity tools. Then we've got some copy changes, I think, too. We use, like many of our customers, we use Vercel as the head to our headless CMS, which makes it really easy to integrate with CMSs directly and find the copy changes, find where that content lives in the CMS, and make quick changes. So here I could just open this up in Contentful, make the change, and because of Vercel draft mode, you're able to see what that looks like before pushing live to production. This makes it a lot easier for me as a marketer to get in there and make changes without needing to kind of involve our developer team. But we've also got a lot of extra dev tools in here that make it easier for debugging, making sure that you're always staying on top of web standards like accessibility and core web vitals. So here we can dig into any of the layout shifts that are happening on the page. No layout shifts, nice. Interaction timing, this is a new core web vital, INP, that Google launched recently. So you can see kind of how your interactions on the site are working. Looks like we're all green. Awesome. Accessibility audit to make sure you're always keeping up with accessible standards and things like that. And then my favorite, the OG card. We're very big on OGs at Vercel, so we want to make sure that everything looks good before we ship to socials. So the toolbar and previews are really helpful in iterating and making quick changes to the site. But how do you make sure that you're rolling things out correctly, that you're making the right changes? Show of hands, who here is using feature flags to roll out their products? All right, cool, cool, cool. Who's just YOLOing builds out as they're ready? Yeah, okay. You're just force pushing to main when the vibes are right. Sick. Has anyone been scooped, by the way, by Jane Wong on Twitter? She tends to find some feature flags and scoops you. Don't worry, we've got you covered there soon, too. No, but in all seriousness, we love flags for experimentation, for safe rollouts and QA. They help us work across teams better. Whether you have millions of users or you haven't launched yet, feature flags are a way to not just de-risk the tech side of the house, but also de-risk your roadmap to make sure you're building the right things. Are you talking about them in the right ways? I, as a product marketer, everything I do centers around a feature flag. As we're building, I can be in the product and test out new features and functionality. I can work with beta customers to understand how they're using the feature and make sure the messaging is on point. In front of some of our larger e-com customers, using feature flags for experimentation or even just flipping on a promotion at the right time can mean tens of millions of dollars in improved conversion rates and revenue capture. But we see companies hesitate to work with flags for two reasons, our two favorite things to talk about at Vercel: developer experience and user experience. Flags are a little hard to integrate. They can add complexity to the rollout process, and sometimes if you're doing things on the client side, it can degrade performance. So I want to talk about a few things that we're doing to help make flags adoption easier. So a couple months ago, you may have noticed a new addition to your Vercel toolbar, this little toggle here. This toggle allows you to bring the flags workflow into your dev and preview environments. It can integrate with any flags provider like Optimizely or LaunchDarkly or Split. And it gives you the ability for your team members to simulate the state of the flag right from the Vercel toolbar. So you, as a developer, designer, QA engineer, CEO, can experience these flows just as your user would. Since we rolled this out, behind a flag, of course, to our beta users, companies like Perplexity and Leonardo AI have flipped the switch on their toolbars over 20,000 times. Who here knows Notion? Yeah, sick. We love Notion at Vercel. Notion is a simple, powerful workspace where millions of teams and individuals, including us, write, plan, collaborate, create. They use feature flags to run experiments, to control public rollouts of big launches. Here, they're using feature flags to roll out a new homepage design they've been working on and to test out some new messaging. So you can see they're going to simulate the flag so they can make changes, see how it looks like for their users, without having to go back to their flags provider and coordinate that swap. Since this override can be used anywhere the toolbar is present, you can simulate that user experience in your dev, test, preview, production environments. You can also share those overrides with your collaborators so they can see exactly what you're working on as well. And today, we're integrating your flags workflow even deeper across our DX platform, starting with web analytics. Now you'll be able to break down your page views and custom events based on the feature flags that are active. Soon you'll be able to also see flags that are active in your logs and flags-related impacts to things like Speed Insights and Core Web Vitals, no matter what framework or flag provider you're using. By the way, Notion, love the site, great use of color. That's helpful if you've already got flags up and running, but pulling those into your code and using them correctly can also be hard. Today, we're also making it more straightforward to pull feature flags into your Next.js app by giving you the framework to actually use those, the Flags SDK, to use those in your code and use them right without impacting user performance. With this package, we're making it easier to get initial loads without great layout shifts, and today it's available for Next.js and very soon for SpellKit. So the DX platform helps you preview and ship quickly and safely to iterate on your experience and keep going. We could stop there. That alone has helped our customers ship up to 6 times faster. But let's bring G back on to keep going and talk more about where we're going.